All right. I just wanted to thank everybody to coming out tonight. Join us on Zoom for Community Cooking with the Co-op, starring Outreach Coordinator Jamar Ruff here from Coos Head Food Co-op. And pretty excited tonight as a Vietnamese food lover to be experiencing Jamar's take on a banh mi sandwich with some cabbage slaw. And feel free to respectfully unmute while we're cooking and/or put comments in the chat and we'll feed them to Jamar. But that's all I got. It's all yours, Jamar.
Okay, well, hello everyone. Welcome to Community Cooking with the Co-op. My name is Jamar. I'm the outreach coordinator here at Coos Head, and tonight we are making a banh mi, Coos Head banh mi. And I got really excited. I'm like, I remember I had a friend named Margie in high school, and her parents owned a restaurant, and she would bring me these amazing sandwiches to school. And I'm like, please keep them coming. And so as an adult, it's like, okay, I'm really always looking to how can I reintroduce myself to something that was from my childhood, but in a cool, fun way and make it inclusive, So instead of pork or instead of meat, we're going to use tofu. And then we're going to do a quick cabbage, which I love. I love the fact of a quick cabbage. And this is something really quick that we can do on a Thursday. Keeps it really fun. Doesn't require like a lot of hours in the kitchen. It's just we prep, we toast our tofu, we crisp them up, and then we make a really good sauce, And so today you're going to learn how to quick pickle, which is my thing, which I'm a fan of.
Say that again?
Quick pickle.
Quick pickle?
Yes.
Okay.
So if anyone knows me, I make some really good pickles. When you are cooking in the kitchen and you won't have like daikon, carrots, and onions, you can do rice vinegar, pour that over, sprinkle a little salt, and then like let them just sit there and marinate, and they become lovely. So first, what we're going to start doing is getting our prep out of the way, so that way, while we are building and working on the inside of our sandwiches, our pickle, the daikons, and the vegetables that are going to go inside can go ahead and start pickling, okay? So first, we're going to start with the daikons. And how I slice my daikons, I make them into little thin sheets. You want them to be able to stack on top of the actual sandwich. Yeah.
What would you say? Is that about an inch square?
I would say so.
No.
What would you?
It's about an inch and a half.
Inch and a half. We have a handyman in the kitchen.
Yeah, let me get the tape measure out.
Don't diminish our cameraman Alan there.
Yes. Alan is in the kitchen working along with me.
The multi-talented.
Yes. Hey, Alan. Thank you so much, sir.
And this is a no chef left behind class. So if you have any questions or you feel like we're moving ahead, just let us know and we will pause. You will not be left. So that's where I started with is my daikon. And then we'll move into onions and then our carrots. Because carrots are like the trickiest one. One, they're really awkward because they roll. And so how do we cut these carrots in a way that, one, we don't cut our fingers and we just take our time. So once everyone has their daikon prepped, then we'll move on to the carrots.
Anybody have any questions?
Do you want to see how I have the daikon sliced? And it's okay to try your food, try the vegetables. If this is your first time cooking with daikons, try it.
Why are yours square?
Are yours square?
No, they're circles.
Okay, that works.
Okay.
That's all right.
Hi. How are you doing?
Good.
Yeah.
Yes. You are not Laura, that's Data.
Oh, wait. Here, wait, how do I change that?
You should have 3 dots in the upper right, and you can click rename.
Oh, thank you.
No problem. All right, go ahead, Jamar, with the square daikon.
Yeah, so, but honestly, it just depends on how you cut your daikon. If you cut it high. So if we, sorry.
Check with the front. Alright.
Customer questions at the co-op.
No answers.
It's like, okay, wait, how can I help you? Thank you, Alan. So one with the daikon. The cool thing about this is you cannot mess it up. You get to make it your own recipe. So if you like circles and I like squares, that gets to be okay. Now, when we're looking at our carrots and how I slice my carrots were.
He's about to show you, Micah.
So I cut my carrots, but I'm gonna actually show you how to cut them because there's a cool way to do them.
Cool.
So I have my carrots like that. Okay, it goes in my scrap. So what I do is can you zoom in a little bit? Just so that way. So what I do is I cut my carrots. So I have them at an angle, and then my knife is like this. So what I'm gonna do is start slicing them. And you just cutting your carrots at an angle. But I'm cutting them like slowly so that way I can control how thick I want them. And remember, we're doing a quick pickle, so you don't wanna have them really, really thick.
And watch the fingers.
Yes, watch the fingers. And so, there you see. I can keep practicing. Does anyone, would you like
Jamie
me-
asked, are we doing both carrots this way?
So one carrot. So one carrot you're gonna do this way. Then we're gonna slice the other ones just like it, but we're gonna kind of make oh my gosh, like toothpick sizes, because those are gonna go into our coleslaw.
Good question. Thank you, Jamie.
So once you cut your first carrot, then we'll move on to the other one. And we're building our base.
How's everybody doing with cutting their daikon and carrot?
Awesome. Okay.
We're doing good. Thank you.
And so I made, okay, I'll wait. And remember, if you have any questions, the Boys and Girls Club or any of our youth, if you have any questions, just raise your hand or just unmute and say, hey, I missed something.
Yeah, you can just unmute or put it in chat.
How's everybody? Okay, so with the onions, so far in my bowl, I have daikon, I have carrots, and now I'm gonna just cut my onions into rings, but I'm only doing half of the onion like this because the other half I'm gonna dice, and that's gonna go in my coleslaw as well. Data?
Go ahead, Data.
How do you slice the daikon? Because I missed that part.
Good question.
So we're cutting them really thinly. Data, do you see how mine look?
Can
Yeah.
you see that, Data?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
We're cutting them pretty thin. And Dada, let me know when you're at the carrots, because I can show you how we cut our carrots as well.
Okay.
Okay.
I cut the carrot already. I just didn't realize you had cut the daikon already.
Hey,
Perfect.
awesome.
Good job.
All right, so for my onions, I cut them into rings because they look like they can be jewelry.
Bracelets.
Cooper.
Yeah.
2 pairings.
So I'm not chopping them, but I'm leaving, so half of the onion, I'm only using half of the onion at this point. Because the other half I'm gonna chop into small dice, I'm gonna dice, and then I'm gonna add to my, I'm gonna add it.
I think Mr. Micah has a question. Go ahead, Micah. Go ahead.
Yeah, so do we put the daikon and the carrots in the same bowl?
Yeah,
And then are we already supposed to cut the cabbage?
no, we're not at that part yet.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, it's coming.
Hey, you're doing good. How you doing?
Pretty good.
Okay,
My mom's here to help me cut the onions.
okay.
Awesome. Good to see you.
So in my bowl, I have my onions, I have my daikon, and I have my carrots. And so basically, these are gonna be our condiments, right? We have, the cilantro is gonna be on our sandwiches. The daikon, the carrots are gonna be on top of our sandwich. So we're just gonna kind of load it up. And then the cabbage is what's gonna accompany it on the side. And it's really simple. So question, how many of you asked the produce person to cut your cabbage in half?
Not seeing any hands.
Okay. Do know that you have that option. Whenever you go shopping at the co-op, you can always say, hey, I need to revamp this. I only need a little bit. Oh, well,
Hey, Patrick.
Patrick is in the back saying he did it.
Patrick knows though.
Patrick can probably go cut his own.
Yes, exactly.
Wherever, I'm like, oh yeah, no problem. I'm like, can you please cut this? I only need a little bit. They're like, Jamar.
I noticed a couple people just came in. Do you guys have any questions about where we're at? You can go ahead and unmute. All right.
Okay. So a part of the recipe calls for rice wine vinegar. And so what we're gonna do is it calls for a half a cup of rice wine vinegar. So awesome. And then did you cut your onions, Mr. Micah?
Yep.
Oh, your mom is cutting the onions. Awesome.
And then they look like
Perfect.
this.
You top them. Top it up in the middle.
Oh.
They'll be individual. Yep.
And you're only doing half of the onion like that, Micah.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Anyone have any questions up to this point?
I think Data has a question.
Data?
Do we put the onions in the same bowl with the?
Yeah. The onions, so far we have in one bowl the daikon radish, we have the carrots, and we have the onion.
All right. Also, do we do the whole daikon like that?
Yes, you can.
All right. Thank you.
Hey, you're welcome.
Good question.
How are we supposed to cut the onion?
So the onions, you're gonna cut them. It's like that moment. Why did I cut my onion? Okay, so
There we go.
basically what we did was we have to cut them into rings, Rich. You see it? And you only use half of your onion. Okay. And everything goes in the bowl, in the same bowl. Boys and Girls Club, how are y'all doing over there? Perfect. Okay. Awesome.
We're doing good.
Okay.
Great.
So, Kara, do you have a question? Okay. So, the recipe called for a half a cup of rice wine vinegar. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just pour maybe like, I'm gonna divide it in half. So I'm gonna pour half of it over my onions and my carrots and daikon, but I'm gonna leave just maybe like 3 tablespoons. I would say 3 tablespoons to just drizzle over my cabbage.
How much do we put in the onions?
No,
So-
I,
So
Go ahead,
what
Frank.
I did was I poured over a half.
don't
Now
touch your face, Micah.
I have a fourth left in reserve. Sorry.
I don't know.
So I have just a little bit left that I'm gonna pour over my cabbage.
Sorry. So how many cups do I put in my onions?
How many cups do you put? How much rice vinegar do you put in your onions? Okay, the onions, the daikon, and the cabbage. Not the cabbage, but the carrot. It only calls for you. So we only are gonna put maybe like 3 tablespoons of it.
Okay.
Put 3 tablespoons over, and then we'll drizzle some over the cabbage.
Okay. Got it.
Perfect.
Good question.
And so I'm mixing mine up. I'm using my hands to I want everything to have some vinegar on it.
Is this what you call quick pickle?
Yes. Do you remember when we made the sliders?
Oh, yeah.
Sliders? Yeah, we did something similar to it.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
I love the dab. The Boys and Girls Club just did the dab. That's great.
Awesome. Data, go ahead.
Gonna be honest, I was too busy trying to find the rice wine vinegar and to realize what amounts we needed to put in.
3 tablespoons.
3 tablespoons.
Okay, thank you. At first, I thought you said half a cup, and so I was very confused as to when it switched to 3 tablespoons.
Then we're glad you asked.
Yeah, the recipe calls for a half a cup, and then what we're gonna do is a little bit of that was gonna go over the vegetables to create the quick pickle, and then the other half was gonna go over the cabbage. What it is you don't want to pour too much over your cabbage because it can be a really intense flavor. So what we're gonna do is also add some of our sesame oil over the cabbage as well, so you have like a good balance of Okay, so I'm excited. So before I'm gonna do is just throw a little salt, like a pinch of salt, over my pickled onion.
Is that some pepper too?
Yes, I did a pinch of salt and a pinch of pepper.
Okay.
So I'm gonna put that to the side and just let that just hang out for a little bit.
Marinate.
Yeah. Okay, so now to my cabbage.
Yeah.
And you see, we're doing all of our cold prep, getting that out of the way right now. And so with the cabbage, the recipe calls for half of cabbage. And what we're gonna do is basically cut it really thin, so that way it shreds it.
Cool.
And so I can show you how I cut mine. And so when you cut the bottom of your cabbage, there's gonna be a V in here. You see this part right here?
Mm-hmm.
In your cabbage, this stem. What we're gonna do is we're gonna cut that out. So you just make a V, and I'll show you.
Cool.
Go ahead and pull that out, discard that, and I'm gonna cut it in half. I'm cutting it in half. Now I have 2 halves. And what I'm gonna do is just turn it like this, and I'm just gonna start shredding. And I'm making sure that I am starting at the top of my knife and going to the bottom. And making sure that I'm going at a nice pace so that way they're all the same size. And remember, we're making slaw.
Awesome.
Okay. And be careful with your hands.
Please. Nice. you said people just need to use half of the cabbage for now.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, if you see Jamar using more ingredients, he's cooking for staff at the co-op.
And the shoppers.
And the shoppers. Let's not forget Alan.
Oh no, Alan is definitely. It's like we have a family meal.
Yeah, maybe if we keep the cameraman fed, he'll keep coming back.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Plan, yep.
It looks like you're eating a vegetable.
Yes, and we can't hear you because you're muted.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we have our cabbage cut. We're gonna start. How you doing, Micah?
I'm still working on getting the white part out. All my knives are in the dishwasher, so I'm limited to just one.
Okay.
Just be careful. Watch those hands.
Ah. Looks like a big cabbage.
Do
How's
we
everybody
cut the
doing?
cabbage any special way?
Rich, can you repeat that, please?
Do we cut the cabbage a special way?
So how we're doing it is once you cut it in half, you're gonna turn it to the side and you start at the top.
Mhm.
Are you able to see? And we're just gonna keep going straight down.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Did
Hey,
you already
Noah.
cut out the white part, Rich?
Yeah,
Okay,
Okay.
cool.
I was just kind of wanting to know what to do next.
Awesome. Yeah, don't hesitate to ask.
And coleslaw is like it's like you can do coleslaw so many ways, which I love. I also love like in the summertime if I have cabbage and adding some apples and just making it really delicious.
Yeah.
Mhm. Okay. All right, so we're gonna start on our carrots. We're adding some carrots to it. And you're basically the same technique that you use to slice the carrots for the quick pickle. You're gonna do the same thing, but then we're just slicing a different way.
Cool. So cut your second carrot the same way.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so then what I'm gonna do is now with the carrots for the coleslaw, I'm cutting them into little slips. Yeah.
Then cut your slices into little strips like Jamar's doing here.
Like matchsticks. That's still part of it.
Where do we put the cabbage?
We're gonna put the cabbage in a whole nother bowl
Okay.
because this is gonna be your coleslaw. So you have one bowl for your daikon, your onions, and your carrots. The other bowl is gonna be the coleslaw bowl.
Okay.
Cool.
How's everybody doing?
Looking good, Jamar.
We're good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Dada, how are you doing?
Who are you asking?
Doing pretty good.
Okay.
Excellent.
Okay, so now I have my carrots. I'm gonna add my carrots over in here. Well, one, I love cooking with color. So as you can see. And I feel like I want some more carrots in mine.
Yeah, you had a bit more cabbage in there.
Yeah.
So before we started videotaping, we have this ritual here where we listen to country music. You know, and I was like, it's Reba, we call it the Ride of the Diva Train, you know. Because we know you're not supposed to cook in a quiet kitchen, but I stopped playing music in this kitchen only because it was conflicting with me being able to hear everyone. So I go through 2 hours of country music, and it's everything. Go
Go ahead, Micah.
Sorry, I missed how you guys were cutting the carrots into strips. Like,
Perfect. I'm actually doing that right now because I needed more. So
Uh-huh.
will you show? So how I'm doing mine is I have the strips cut. I have the first, and then I'm just watching my fingers. And if you point your fingers down to like this when you're cutting, like if you point them down, it's impossible for you to hit your thing.
Yeah.
But be careful and make sure you're looking down when you're slicing. And what I'm doing is I'm just holding it firm, and then I'm just cutting really slow.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically, you do what you're doing before, and then you cut that into little strips.
Exactly.
There you go.
Perfect.
And then it makes these strips. Oh, that looks really good. Okay. All right.
Ooh, that is colorful.
Yeah. And then this is the quick pickle. I'll go for the quick pickles.
Nice.
They're just hanging out.
Smell good.
They're just hanging out.
Looking good.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so how is everybody? Are you ready to move on to the next step? Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're going to add the rest of our red vinegar, not red vinegar, but white, sorry.
Rice vinegar.
We're gonna add the rest of the white, whoa, say that 3 times, okay? But
The rest of the rice?
yes,
Yes.
please, the rest of the rice wine vinegar.
There
Whoa.
you go.
I'm gonna pour that over. I'm gonna just drizzle it over. And then,
And how much did you have there, Jamar?
so this was I had like 1/4 of a cup.
So about 1/4 of a cup? Cool.
And so I have that.
Mix it up.
Mm-hmm. And then, so we have some sesame oil, and the recipe calls for us to get a half a cup of sesame oil as well. So from there, I'm gonna do 3 tablespoons. I'm gonna do 3 tablespoons of sesame oil, and then the same thing is like a little salt, a little pepper. You know, I start with a pinch because most times when you're cooking for folks, they're gonna already add salt and pepper to these things, but you're not trying to overwhelm the recipe. You just want to have balance. So the rice vinegar is sometimes overwhelming. So I'm gonna do.
Wait, Jamar, Jamie said she missed the onion for the slaw. There's no onion in the slaw, is there?
Oh yes, there is. Okay, so you were making me mad. It's your fault. It's totally Paul's fault. So okay, and then the onions. So we were talking about before, you know, how we sliced the onions and kept half of it. So what we're gonna do is just dice up the onions and throw the onions over into the slaw.
How many tablespoons did you say of the
Sesame
oil?
I did 3 tablespoons.
3 tablespoons, okay.
With the radishes and the carrots.
Javier.
But it's only a 1/4 of a cup on the slaw.
Yes, on the vinegar. On the vinegar, it's 1/4 cup, and then there's 3 tablespoons of sesame oil that goes in the slaw. And then, so with the onions, what we're gonna do is I am going to dice up my onions, and I'm only doing like 1/2 cup of diced onions. And how I'm slicing them is when you make the rings, right? Say for instance, like if you slice the onions in the rings, sometimes, you know, it makes it really simple to do a diced onion versus like cutting the 4 lines down them and then like trying to, I can never do it right. But once I found this, I was like, oh, I could do this, you know? And so what I did was I would have like my onions and I would cut them in half and it'll look like a crescent moon. And I just like start cutting like around the circle.
Dada, did you have a question?
I was wondering if you meant like ribbon onions or like actual chopped onions, but it sounds like you mean actual chopped onions.
We're gonna dice the onion.
Okay. Thank you for clarifying.
Hey, no problem. Will you show us it?
Yep, so on over.
Yes. And so you see like the crescent moon onion looks like a little rainbow. But so with this, what I start doing is I start cutting around and I am making like perfect dice. Look at that. Perfecto.
This all goes in the slaw, right?
Mm-hmm. And we're gonna do a 1/2 cup onion in the slaw.
1/2 cup of diced onions in the slaw.
I have some extra ones over here.
Do we put sesame oil in the slaw?
Yeah, we're gonna do 3 tablespoons of sesame oil.
Good question. 3
Thank you.
tablespoons.
So that's my onion. And now I'm gonna like sprinkle some salt, pepper, and then I have some poppy seeds, some black poppy seeds, and it says a 1/2 teaspoon. I'm gonna also put those in there as well, and then I'm gonna mix it up, you know, with my hands, of course. I love the smell of sesame oil, by the way. It's one of my favorites. So I'm gonna do sprinkle of salt.
You doing salt and pepper?
Yes, I'm doing a little salt and pepper, just a sprinkle.
Cool.
And then I have the 1/2 teaspoon of the black poppy seeds.
1/2 teaspoon of black poppy seeds.
Oh, it looks so good.
Yum.
And then I'm mixing them up. Okay. At least we're not looking at the clock and it's still saying 5:30.
Go ahead, Micah.
So right now, all I've got in my coleslaw is the carrots, the rice vinegar, and the cabbage. What do I do next?
So are you on the slaw?
Yeah, because
Okay.
right now I got the carrots, the cabbage, and the vinegar.
Okay, so do 3 tablespoons of sesame oil.
And half a diced onion, right?
Yes, and then you're gonna do a 1/2 cup of diced onion.
Okay. So the other half a diced onion and 3 more tablespoons of
Yes.
the sesame oil.
Absolutely.
Wait, did you say more, Micah?
Oh, this is the first time I used
Oh, okay.
it.
I misheard you. Dada, did you have a question as well?
Would it be okay if I end up only having black sesame seeds? We might have black poppy seeds, but I'm not sure.
Do you only have which poppy seed?
She
Black
has black
sesame
sesame seeds.
Okay, yeah, that works.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Cool. Good question.
That works. Hey,
One
Mama.
tablespoon of that, right?
a 1/2 teaspoon.
Half a teaspoon of the seeds.
Okay, thank you.
I have a question that's unrelated to this, sort of. I picked up, in addition to the black poppy seeds, I picked up black seeds at the co-op. What are black seeds?
No idea.
They're really good for you. They're very good health item. Supposedly they're supposed to be good for balancing your blood pressure and things like that.
So good for balancing blood pressure.
Yeah, but look up about black seed. They sell black seed oil, and and if you get them whole, get a little pepper mill grinder and put it on your food. Sprinkle it on.
There you go.
Thank you. That was our multi-talented cameraman, Alan.
Woo! Okay, so Mr. Micah, how are you doing with your slaw?
My mom's adding the onion right now.
Okay.
And I got the sesame seed oil.
Okay, and so you have the black poppy seeds. You're gonna do.
My mom, when she went to the store, she actually forgot to buy some poppy seeds, so I don't have any.
Okay, that's okay.
No worries.
Remember, this is your recipe, so you get to make it however. If you get like the midsection of it, then you can make it however way you would like to. Like, say for instance, like you don't like tofu, well, you can get tempeh as well. You get to make this however way you would like to. So, okay, so we have the slaw over there hanging out. We have our pickled vegetables. So the next thing we're gonna go ahead and start doing is toasting our tofu. And so I have my tofu sliced into sections like this, like squares. And
Let's see how thick those are. Jamar, you want to show us how thick those are?
Of course.
Thank you.
They're not really they're not too thick.
Yeah, cool.
3/8 of an inch.
Thank you, Alan. Thank you, Alan. But so whenever you are using tofu and you take it out of the pack, it has a lot of water in there. So what you can do is like use a paper towel and just press it a little bit, and it releases all of the moisture. And so that way you can actually get a really great toast on the tofu.
And Jamar, Laura and Alexa asked, are we using a whole 16-ounce package of tofu?
No. So the cool thing about the tofu is that you can put it in some water or put it in your fridge, and it definitely holds up. Right now, so say for instance, each sandwich is gonna have 2 slices of tofu on it. So if it's 3 of you, then you can have 3. You can have that'll be 6 slices that you only need.
Cool. Good question. I think Dada has a question as well.
How do I get mine out of the package?
So what you want to do is you go around the square, but you can do it over the sink. You go around the square, and you can either, if you have scissors or a not so sharp knife, because you're gonna have it in your hand, but you can put it down. You can put it down and just go around it, or you can also peel the side.
I tried peeling the side, but it didn't want to cooperate.
Okay.
But thank you.
Laura, was that a tofu dip? Yes, thank you. So you can peel the side like this, but if it's not cooperating, put it down and just go around the square.
Yeah, cut it out.
And then you put it on some paper towel and you dry it, do a little press, and then you get the perfect toast of tofu.
Yeah, you don't want a soggy sandwich.
I was like, I never was able to do that. Hey, I got you covered. So I have my trusty pot over here, and I am going to put some olive oil in here. I'm probably going to just do just a little bit to coat the bottom of it. And then measurement.
We just missed what kind of oil we're supposed to add.
Olive oil.
Olive oil.
Olive oil in the bottom of the pan, and we're going to do 1 tablespoon. That should be enough to just coat it.
Go ahead, Dada.
what type of pan are we using to? Oh, like a frying pan?
Yeah.
Perfect.
And I'm
And
gonna
Pat-
Stick one work, or does it have to be?
What's that, Data?
Would a non-stick frying pan work?
Of
Or-
course.
Okay.
Perfect.
I just have this at the co-op just in case.
And Patrick add that the co-op has the best bulk tofu, no single serve plastic involved. He's being honest. He's being honest, not biased.
No,
It's the
that
best.
was me.
Oh, that was
that
Jen.
was
Thanks,
Jen.
Jen.
That is not Patrick. It is the best tofu, the best bulk tofu I've ever had, and I've lived in all kinds of cities. So
Thanks, Jen. You're off the hook, Patrick.
That makes me really happy, okay? So while we're waiting on that to toast up, and right now it's like you are. So first, before we even put it in the pan, everyone would want to go ahead and start slicing your tofu. You just make little rectangle. So I have mine laid out like this. And then I have my pan, which I have olive oil in, and I'm only putting a little bit to coat it because your tofu can really like get really oily, and that's not what I'm trying. I'm not trying to fry the tofu. I just want to make it crispy a little, and brown it. So while I'm letting my olive oil heat up, and I have so the next thing I'm gonna do. Sorry, I'm switching over. While I have my pan ready with my olive oil, I'm gonna get another pan going. And this is where I'm gonna basically build my sauce. So while I'm toasting my tofu, my sauce is gonna be reducing. So I'm gonna, whoa, okay. And then I'm gonna put a maybe a teaspoon of olive oil in my pan.
Did you start heating the pan first?
Yeah.
Jamie wants to know what temp are these pans at?
So I have them at medium heat.
Oh, so you have both pans on medium heat?
Yeah, I have both pans at medium heat. Sometimes when you cook with a cast iron pan, it's easy to make it get really hot, but it's harder to reduce the heat.
Yeah.
So Alan's like, yes, I've experienced that.
I have several cast irons. I love them. They do a great job browning things, but yeah, once you get them hot, you gotta watch.
Yeah.
Turn it down.
So I always start with medium, especially if I'm someone data.
I did not realize we were using two pans. Also, I may or may not. I don't think I own a cast iron.
You don't have to use a cast iron. So say for instance, if you don't have another frying pan, if you have a non-stick pan, you can also use a saucepan to reduce your sauce pan.
Okay.
That work, Data?
Yeah. Do I put salt with the olive oil or
Nope, just put a little olive oil.
in both?
In both?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry.
Thank you.
I hear something up there, and so my mind.
Oh God! I just spilled salt everywhere. That's lovely.
Oh, well.
And Mr. Micah, did you have a question?
Yeah.
He's coming.
Did we put poppy seeds in that? Because I haven't yet, and I just wanted to know. In the slaw, I mean.
Wait, one more time, Rich?
Do we put the poppy seeds in the slaw?
Yeah. Yeah, you're gonna do a half a teaspoon.
Okay, thank you. Sorry.
Hey, no apologies.
Yeah. Go ahead, Micah.
So I've got the tofu sliced. So do I put it in a pan?
So what you're gonna do is we're in our pan. We have two frying pans going right now. One is gonna be our pan to toast the tofu. So if you want to go ahead and get that started, we're gonna put a little olive oil just to coat the bottom of it. I started with the 1 teaspoon, and then what we're gonna do is we have another pan going for our to reduce our sauce.
So we get the pan, we put some olive oil on it, and then we put it up on medium heat. You said?
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then when do we add the tofu?
Once it gets a little hot, like mine is starting to smoke a little bit, so I'm gonna start adding my tofu.
Got it. Ooh.
Excellent.
Like it's good. You know, let me get frying.
I know. I got a new power source.
Yeah.
And I have a spatula because I'm gonna be using that to, and I'm only putting a little bit. I don't like crowding the pan when I'm frying stuff.
So everybody needs a spatula to flip those, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, and so, and once that starts, then we're gonna, once you put the tofu in there, then we're gonna start working on prepping our 3 cloves of garlic. Because what we're gonna do is like, we're gonna dice our garlic.
So how much are you actually using?
How much am I actually,
You only use 3?
I'm only using 3.
Now, how much should everybody else use?
You only need to use 3. And if, well, depending on your taste buds. If you're not really keen to, you don't like too much garlic, then you can reduce it and use 2 cloves.
Remember, we used 20 cloves.
Yeah.
Don't listen to Tara.
So, okay.
Unless
So
you want to turn into a vampire. And Theodore asked, are black seeds different than black poppy seeds? Yes, Theodore.
yes. And what we've learned is that the black seeds are really awesome to reduce.
I believe, don't quote me, I'm no doctor, but they're supposed to be good for your health. You can look them up online, read a few things about them.
But they're definitely 2 different animals.
Yeah.
So I'm dicing my garlic, and as I have my tofu toasting, which is exciting, I'm gonna dice my garlic, and then I'm gonna add it to my other pan with the olive oil in there.
Cool. Go ahead, Micah.
When do we use the teriyaki sauce?
So in the other pan, that's where we're gonna start reducing our sauce. So we're using the bottle. Stop looking over there.
Smoke it.
The whole bottle?
Yes. And
The
what
whole
we're gonna do is, yes. And
Well,
what
we're not there yet, Micah.
Okay.
Wait, I think we had another question. How Theodore asked, how do you peel garlic cloves?
Oh my gosh. So what I like to do, so there's some garlic cloves out there that's like quote unquote easy peel. I never get with that. So what I do is I always, like, say for instance, if I have a knife, I'll turn it to the side, turn my knife to the side, and I press. But sometimes like that, like I press really hard and then it bursts, you know? But when I do that, then it makes it a lot easier for me to peel. The garlic I grew at home is not easy to peel. So
So with the garlic, can we smash it like we did with the lasagna?
yep.
Okay, yeah, because that's really easy for me to do.
But then you dice it, right, Jamar?
Yes, you're gonna dice it, but make sure you're watching out for your hands, okay?
Okay, and then how many cloves do we have?
I have 3. Well, now I have 4. I started with 3. Thank you, Theodore, for allowing me to add another clove.
Yeah, 3 would probably work, Micah.
Okay, thanks.
Mm-hmm.
And once I dice it, I'm gonna add it to my other pan. And what I want to do is I want to kind of brown my garlic, and then I'm gonna start adding my teriyaki sauce over it, and I'm going to add the rest of my sesame oil over it, and I'm gonna turn it up on a high heat and then reduce it.
All right. Stacy said, I'm not using much teriyaki because it's too salty for us. I want the flavor, but I agree with Micah.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Dada.
So I chop up the garlic. Now what do I do?
And once you chop up the garlic, you remember that other pan that you were gonna use?
Yep.
You go ahead and take that, and what you're gonna do is just add a little olive oil to that pan, and we're gonna put it on medium heat. And once you're finished with your chopping your garlic, you're gonna add the garlic over it. Let it brown a little bit, and remember, garlic browns really quickly. So once it browns, you move it around a little bit. Then we're gonna start adding our sauces.
Cool.
Okay. Did I hear that we put the entire bottle of teriyaki
Yeah,
sauce?
because what it is when you use the soy sauce and when you reduce the soy sauce, not the soy sauce, but the teriyaki sauce, you reduce it and it becomes a thicker. It becomes thick.
Oh, okay.
Good question.
And make sure you're checking on your tofu.
I was gonna ask about that.
Hey, I got you covered.
Awesome.
So I'm moving my garlic around. I need to use a wooden spoon. It's gonna make a lot of noise.
Yeah.
It smells so good.
Oh, I bet.
Don't you wish the next one of our youth, if you get a chance, I know y'all are really good. Someone should really invent smell-o-vision or smell-o-doom.
I don't know. I think that'd kill me. I can already envision the smells. That's enough.
Yeah.
So we add the chopped garlic to our other pan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And then do we start heating that up now?
Yes, you do, on medium heat.
Okay.
So once they're about that consistency, mine is a little brown. You don't want them to burn, so you want to make sure that you're looking at them because garlic burns really easily, and sometimes I always start out with olive oil and then onions just so I can give my garlic a chance. But I have it on medium heat, and so I'm moving it around, and I'm looking for the color. So some of them are going to get brown, and then I'm going to start adding my sauce. And so, for instance, like some of you shared tonight, well, I don't really want to use the whole bottle. The cool thing about it is you do not have to. Especially depending on how many people you're cooking with. But what we're gonna do is because after you open it, you'll see that it has a more liquidy consistent. Once you put it in the pan and you crank up the heat, it's gonna start to reduce.
Go ahead, Micah.
So now that my pan with oil is hot, now do I add the tofu?
Yes, go ahead and add the tofu, and you're cooking that on medium as well. So right now we have one pan with.
How long do I cook the tofu?
So the goal is to make sure they're brown, and it takes a little while. So you're cooking them on medium heat. You're not rushing, but you want to make sure that it gets a little brown on both sides because you want the tofu to have some type of crispiness.
Mm-hmm.
And you want about 2 slices per sandwich you're making.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Did you add the teriyaki oil to the other one, the garlic?
Yeah, to the garlic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Once your garlic's a little brown, you add the teriyaki, right, Jamar?
Yes. Perfect.
How much teriyaki sauce?
So what I did was I used the whole bottle, but like you can start out with half of the bottle first.
Huh?
Thank you.
I think so.
I got Micah.
I'm picking some more of mine. I'm so excited. Okay.
Is that working better?
Mm-hmm.
Working better?
Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Alan.
All right.
Go ahead, Linda.
Hey, I'm allergic to soy. What would be a substitute for tofu?
So you could use jackfruit. Like you can make these into, you can use the same recipe and make it into jackfruit if you would like.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that would work.
Well,
Oh,
'cause,
thank you.
tofu is a flavor absorber, right? Same thing with jackfruit. When we made our jackfruit sliders, it puts you in the mind of pulled pork. But I I made like jackfruit and then I put I broken up the jackfruit, broke down some chickpeas and made it like a patty.
Okay.
So yeah, it's definitely a versatile when it comes to cooking with it.
Oh, thank you.
And you're
Jamie
welcome.
mentioned cauliflower.
Oh, totally. I love when you're in the kitchen and you start dreaming of like, don't put yourself in a box when it comes to cooking, when it comes to recipes and things like that. So I have my teriyaki is off to a boil. I turned up the heat because what I want to do is kind of like cook it down to where it gives a really thick consistency. And I'm gonna add the rest of my sesame oil. So if you have a bottle of sesame oil, I can start out with 3. I always do like things in 3s, so like 3 seasonings. You know? It's my thing, okay?
Whatever works.
I'm gonna add my sesame oil to the teriyaki as well.
How much
So-
sesame oil?
So what I'm gonna do is you can do 3 tablespoons, but I'm cooking for more, so I would just start out with maybe a tablespoon and a half.
Cool.
So I got the tofu cooking, so now I have the whole bottle of the teriyaki sauce, and then what do I do next?
Well, you add the teriyaki sauce to the pan with the garlic.
Uh-huh.
So I have my teriyaki sauce right here with my garlic and my sesame oils, and I'm letting that reduce. Then in the other pan, I have my tofu.
Okay, got
Is
it.
your garlic starting to brown, Micah?
Yep.
Yep, then add the whole bottle of teriyaki.
Okay.
And as you can see, we can pull stuff off of the shelves in our grocery stores that we go to, and we can make them into something completely different. You know, it's like, now I can do this on a Thursday, okay? And it's pretty fun.
Definitely.
So in order to reduce your sauce, you put the sauce in the pan and you turn it up. And then you keep stirring. You keep it moving because you don't want it to burn. So you keep it moving, and once it starts coating the back of your spoon in a thick consistency, then you want to like kind of like take it down a little bit. And once we finish toasting our tofu, we're gonna add the tofu over into our teriyaki sauce.
Ah. Linda added, and delish. It's looking that way, Linda.
This is exciting.
Yes, very exciting.
And you see, like, while we pressed out our pickled vegetables and our slaw, because once you finish with the tofu, then we'll toast it. We leave the buns to toast at the last moment because you want your sandwich to be so hot and so good.
Yum.
And we'll move into the bill. Does anyone have any questions about where we're at? Rich, how are you doing in the kitchen?
I'm doing pretty good. I just fall back on steps occasionally.
Okay, no problem. And
No worries. Just let us know if we need to repeat anything.
Totally. How are you doing over there at the Boys and Girls Club?
Boys and Girls Club, how you guys doing?
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
3 thumbs up.
Dana, how are you doing?
Say hi. Hello.
Hi, what's your name?
John.
John, thanks for joining us. How you doing?
Good.
Awesome. You looking forward to these sandwiches?
Yeah.
Me too. Awesome.
I'm gonna try it and see if it tastes good. I don't know.
I think it's going to. You'll see.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Thank you, guys.
Hey,
Yeah,
no,
thanks for joining us. How many of you are there in that kitchen? Unmute.
Got that.
Oh, I'll bug them later.
Starting to get brown.
Mhm. I love my sauce. I have a thing with sauces, especially reducing sauces, and just, yeah.
See you, Joshua.
Bye, Joshua. I love how the garlic is just flowing up. We have the sesame oil, and then this is just making me really happy.
Daphne has a question, and that question is jalapeno.
Okay, so that's the topping. So I didn't put the jalapeno in the quick pickle because sometimes it can be really hot. And so that's something that you want to put on the side just so folks that you're eating with have options.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Add if you can handle it.
Yeah, when I'm cooking here at the co-op, they just assume that it's going to be already into it. So.
Go ahead, Dada.
Okay. You said that we were adding the tofu into the sauce once the tofu was done?
Once the sauce cooks down a little bit.
And the tofu's done.
Yeah, once the sauce cooks down and you finish toasting your tofu.
What like consistency is the sauce supposed to be?
Okay, so you wanna. So as you can see, like when we first poured our sauce in there, it was like at this consistency. It was not like this. So now that I have it turned up, and you see like when I'm moving it around, it's like moving in a whole little situation, and the bubbles are forming. So the bubbles are forming, and then the sugars are being reduced in it. So I have a little bit more ways to go, and then I'll start. But once it starts coating the back of your spoon, and it's a little bit thicker, then we're like perfect.
Cool. Go ahead, Micah.
So we're supposed to, when the tofu and the sauce are done, we're supposed to add.
Wait, one more time.
So when the sauce and the tofu are done, we're supposed to put them together, add them.
Yeah, you're gonna put the tofu in the sauce.
Okay. And then that's as far as we go for now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then we'll toast the buns in the same pan that we pull our tofu out.
Micah, how's your sauce doing? Is it getting thicker?
Okay. Hang on, let me check this too.
Yeah, check that.
Yep, it's getting thicker, all right.
All right.
Tofu's looking pretty good too.
And it's
Excellent.
okay to taste your sauce. It may be a little hot, but it's okay to taste your food. I don't know if y'all tasted the coleslaw so far. Hey, Dada.
Go ahead, Dada.
Tofu is in the sauce. What do I do now?
Did you toast your tofu?
Yes.
Okay. So just let it reduce with this. So once you toast once you toasted your tofu, it's okay to go ahead and add it to the sauce. I'm just not there yet because I want to go ahead and toast all my tofu so that way I can put it all in the pan together.
Once Dada puts that tofu in the sauce, do they need to reduce the heat or?
Yes, you want to reduce your heat, so you don't want it boiling. You want it to kind of just hang out, still be because it's still going to keep some heat. You just want it to hang out. So you're going to reduce your heat all the way down. I love toasting tofu. It's pretty. I do have some of the things in the kitchen that I really enjoy.
And one of those is toasting tofu?
Toasting tofu, especially when you get it crispy enough where you can add it with like your soups and stuff like that.
Oh,
Another thing that I've been doing is making galettes. It's my new favorite thing in the kitchen because the dough can literally be put together under 10 minutes.
What'd you call it?
A galette. It's kind of like it's a rustic pizza. I made shrimp and grits this morning, which was pretty fun with some gravy.
Yum.
And so that is, that was like my stuff. Like, what did you do for self-care this week? Well, I cooked myself breakfast.
And Theodore was asking, when do we add the cilantro? Is that towards the end?
Yeah, so the cilantro is going to be amongst the condiments.
Okay, yeah, not yet. Go ahead, Boys and Girls Club.
We have to go, but we finished our sandwiches and they're fantastic. So thank you so much.
Hey, y'all, send us some photos.
Hey, yeah, can you guys email me a photo of your finished sandwich? You have my the Zoom confirmation.
Okay, definitely. We'll definitely.
And how many of you are there?
Right now it's just the staff, but we had about 5 kids come up and enjoy making sandwiches.
So there were about 10 of you?
Yes, 10.
Okay,
yes.
great. Thank you guys so much for coming.
Thank you. We'll send pictures.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Bye.
Enjoy your sandwiches.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh,
Go ahead, Micah. Oh, I'm sorry, Dada. Go ahead.
I was gonna ask them if Carolyn still works there because she was the art teacher when I used to go there.
I think they just signed off.
Yeah, they just signed off right as I started talking.
Sorry, Dada. Go ahead, Micah.
So how long does the tofu sit in the sauce?
So have you toasted your tofu yet?
Yep, it's in the sauce right now.
Okay, so what we're gonna do is the tofu is gonna sit in there until we are ready to build our sandwiches.
Okay.
So Micah, did you reduce the heat on your sauce a little?
Huh? Oh no.
Yeah, reduce the heat a little.
Thank you, Paul.
Yeah.
So I'm adding my tofu to my sauce, and it turns into this really rich color.
Oh yeah.
You want to get a photo video? So as mine has reduced, you see how the color has just turned into this really rich color?
Nice.
And the garlic is just plain, just hanging out.
Awesome.
And so the whole thing is you want the sauce and the tofu to just become best buds.
Become one.
Yeah. Sorry, I got really quiet.
I was just like watching everybody, trying to make sure everybody was good.
How's everybody doing?
I'll be right back.
Okay.
All righty.
I'm doing good.
Thumbs up. Cool.
Thumbs up. Okay.
Excellent. Thank you, Rich. Sweet.
So I'm gonna just
You got too much tofu going there, Jamar.
How do you know? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna clean up my space. Make time to do a little wipe down. My dad would be so proud of me. He's like, okay, I already know I'm doing dishes, and I just destroy the whole kitchen. He's like, you know, you can cook, you can clean while you cook. I'm like, Dad, that's what you're doing.
That's Dad's job. Go ahead, Dada. Oh, she lowered her hand, so I think we're good.
No, sorry. I forgot to unmute. I tried pressing it. It did not work.
No worries.
My sauce is now at a like syrupy consistency, like a bit thicker than maple syrup.
How's your tofu? Is your tofu browned?
The tofu's in.
Oh, good, good. And did you reduce the heat on the sauce?
Yep. I'm
Okay.
wondering how long I wait for.
Is that about the right consistency, Jamar?
Yep.
Cool.
And so for my buns, I'm gonna go ahead and start toasting my buns. And right now, so because you have an empty pan with the tofu, I'm just gonna use the same pan to toast my buns in.
And Stacy said, delicious food. Thank you.
Thank you.
I think she's off to eat. Yeah. If you guys finish early and you need to go eat, please do. And please send me pictures. You all have my email in your Zoom confirmation. And we love to post pictures of your plates later.
Yes, we do.
What have we done since I left? Sorry.
Hey, nothing. So what we're on is right now. You have all of your tofu in your sauce, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So now what you're gonna do is the pan that you were toasting your tofu in. Just go ahead and put your buns in there, so you can toast your buns. And when I'm toasting my buns, I toast them on both sides because it's just important. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So I let them toast, and I let them get a little brown, and then I flip it.
And do you have that on like a low heat now, Jamar?
Yes, I have it on a medium heat.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, this is awesome.
And you don't have to use your hands like me. Use tongues. Okay.
Don't burn yourselves.
Yes, do not use tongues. And what we're looking for is like the perfect golden, crispy bread, warm. Ooh, that was a little hot.
You don't have numb fingertips at this point?
No, you should see me when I'm doing pancakes. This is nothing. Have you not seen me make a fritter? Like, if there's not a lot of grease in there, I just go ahead and do. You just gotta be quick.
But there's an idea for later.
Pancakes, French toast. We can definitely do pancakes.
I guess we did make a type of pancake.
Yeah, we did. The kimchi pancake.
That's right. Oh yeah, those were awesome.
Oh, that was delicious. Didn't you try them?
No.
You didn't try them?
I wasn't here when you were
Oh.
I wasn't here when you were doing that.
That's when we just had the cruddy webcam.
Yeah.
And now I have to run to the screen and say, hey, does everyone see it?
Oh, and the corn fritters, right.
Oh, yeah.
The corn fritters. Wow.
And Starlet said breakfast for dinner. Yeah, I think we might have to do one of those sometime.
Yes. So what are y'all favorite? Okay, we're gonna take a poll. If breakfast for dinner was a thing, what would y'all want to cook? What are your favorite things to eat for breakfast? Data?
Patrick and Jen said bacon.
Yes.
I really like sushi.
You like sushi for breakfast?
For breakfast?
Oh, for breakfast?
Yeah. What is something that you like to eat for breakfast?
Probably my favorite thing is pancakes when my friend has a sleepover, because every time my friend has a sleepover in the morning, me and him always wake up early and make some pancakes. That's really fun to do.
Joelle said scrambled tofu. Go ahead, Dada.
French toast, Belgian waffles, and bacon.
Oh, no,
There you
that's.
go. And Daphne said sushi for breakfast sounds amazing.
Yes, it does. I am a
agree
like,
wholeheartedly.
I do a lot of stir fries. And so the cool thing that I'll do is like just a scramble, or I'll do like a poached egg. I'll heat it up, re-stir fry everything, and then I'll make like a poached egg and just like pop it open, and it's just really good.
And Patrick and Jen are requesting anything with tomatoes because I think they have too many.
Yeah. Or you can make tomato jam.
Oh.
And I was watching something about like a toast board, how like you can have like you can make like you can toast up some sourdough and just have like different condiments, and you can do like a jammy tomato if you would like. I got a canner for you, Jen, if you want to do that. We can make that happen.
She's like, no.
She's like, no, thank you, Jamar.
Go ahead, Micah.
So adding on to the breakfast question, so that's one of my favorite breakfasts around the house, but my ultimate favorite is on my birthday. We always go to the pancake meal.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I love pies too.
Breakfast is one of my favorite meals because you can eat anything you want for breakfast. There's like no rules.
Right.
It's kind of like for dinner, there's like rules that we put ourselves, like you have to have this, but for breakfast, you can do anything.
Lauren and Alexa said there's a place in Eugene called Off the Waffle that serves a waffle coated in a special kind of sugar and is topped with savory toppings like poached eggs, avocado, and goat cheese. We should definitely do that. That sounds good. Mm.
Okay. I'm sold.
And Jen said jam is too much work.
Jen said that's too much work. Oh, we'll do it in like 30 minutes. Pancake is like, I don't know. I won't say 30 minutes, maybe an hour. Okay, so now we are going to start the build.
Bye, Linda.
Bye, Linda. Okay. So I'm going to
let's make some sandwiches.
Yes. I've toasted my bread. Thank y'all for that amazing conversation about breakfast. And so what I'm gonna do is start. Oh. So hot. So I'm gonna layer two slices of tofu on the bottom. Sorry, it's like dropping over a hot pan, so you hear like the sizzles. Okay.
Linda said, horses have to eat. Have to see the yum.
Have to wait. They have to wait. I have to see the yum.
Good.
So now I have my tofu on the bottom, as you can see, and I'm gonna start building. So I have my onions. I'll do onions down here. I'll do some sliced daikon, onions, daikon, and I like to have stuff like hanging over the side. And there's no right or wrong way to build. I just like to have like my carrots. And then so we were sold out of cilantro, so I'm using microgreen.
Cool. But this is where everybody else would use their cilantro.
Yes. And remember, Daphne said, hey, what about the jalapenos, right?
Right.
So you get to make the decision if you would like your jalapenos on top, and I'm adding mine to the top.
Holy moly. I'm not eating that one. No.
Yes.
I'll take Alan's.
As if you had a choice. Okay, and so I'm putting
Wow.
my sandwich, my bun in, and this is like a pretty exciting, huh? So now,
Yes. You don't even need a salad with it because it's in the sandwich.
hey, but there's always going to be room for it. So I'm taking my coleslaw and I'm mixing it up. I have my tongs, mixing it up,
Nice.
and I made space for it in the front. So when we're plating, we want to make sure that we are, you want your, one, you know, eating with your eyes is really important in our kitchen, right? And so we want people to be full before they even take a bite.
We want to make them jealous.
And so,
Wow.
I burned my bread. No.
What's that, Dada?
I burned the buns.
Oh no. Dada burned her buns.
Ah.
Okay,
Spray.
wait. So do we put the slaw and the? What do we put on the burger besides the tofu?
so on the tofu, what we're gonna do on the burger, well, on the banh mi, what we're gonna do is put the tofu, then we did our onion, our daikon, and then we put our carrot. And then we were out of the cilantro, so I used microgreens, locally made, locally produced microgreens. And then I put the lid on. And if you want,
And the jalapenos too.
yes, if you want to like drizzle some more sauce on top, you can make that decision. And then what I started doing was plating my coleslaw in the front.
Yum.
And there we have it.
Yes. How's everybody doing? Awesome.
Great, thanks. Can't wait to eat.
Yeah.
Make sure you take photos, send them our way. Thank y'all so much for participating tonight. It has been
See you,
amazing.
Dana and Jamie.
Oh, now that looks good.
Oh, good job. Good job.
Mark, can I send you the photos on Discord?
Of course, please. You see, I'm using this. I'm trying
No
to.
problem, Joel. Thanks for joining us.
I'm trying to
again.
use Discord a little bit more than what I normally use it. Thank you.
Bye, Patrick and Jen. Take care, y'all.
Bye. Thank you all.
They're blackened already. What did I do wrong?
Hey.
What's that?
My buns are blackened already. What did I do wrong?
Oh no.
That happened to me too, because the inside was perfect, but the outside not so much.
Oh no.
It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, but luckily I was able to just cut off the top and it's good.
Oh, excellent. Good job, Micah.
And the best part is I only did 2 buns like this, so I still have 2 more that aren't
Oh, good.
toasted yet.
Yeah, maybe do those at a lower heat.
Yeah.
Cool.
I forgot this was turbo boil. No, I forgot it was turbo boil.
Uh-oh.
You know what? This is my
Rich, how are you
I'm gonna
doing?
use up all the buns at this point, so you know what? At this point, it's good. It's
Awesome. You got it, Dada. We have faith.
So much. Rich, how are you doing over there? Bye, Daphne.
Bye. Thanks, Jamar. Thanks, Paul.
Take the
Thanks,
photo.
everybody.
Yeah, thanks, y'all. Mary said
Yeah.
that's just beautiful. Thanks, Jamar. Thanks, Mary.
Rich, how are you doing?
And these will
Good,
be
I
posted
finished.
on the library's YouTube channel later if you want to cook along at a later date.
Mhm.
You good,
Laura,
Rich? Okay.
Oh, wait. That's this one.
Alexa, you guys good?
We are good. I think we're all set.
Awesome. Enjoy your dinner.
We will. Thanks, Jamar.
I'm gonna go, but thank you. This was really fun.
Awesome. Thanks for joining us, Rich.
Thank you for being here.
Enjoy.
I will. Thank you so much.
Of course.
Finally in the assembly stage. Thank goodness.
There we go. You're crossing the finish line, Data.
Took a while, but I got there.
Yeah. Everybody gets there eventually. Like Jamar said, no chef left behind. We don't leave till you finish your meal.
Absolutely not.
Trish, how are you doing? Are you cooking along? No problem, Laura.
How would I cut up the chives?
Chives?
Yeah, how would I cut those up?
Oh, you mean the cilantro?
Oh, cilantro. Whoops.
If you want, you don't have to cut them up. You can just kind of like pull them apart.
Yeah, you can just tear the leaves off and throw them on your sandwich.
All right, hang on. I'm gonna mute because I'm gonna wash them.
Cool. Micah, how you doing?
Oh, I'm just working on building the sandwich right now. The tofu turned out good.
Excellent. Once again, good job, buddy.
Thank you.
Of course. Thanks for joining us.
This is awesome.
Totally.
Well, I thank you again for an enjoyable lesson, and I just thank you. You guys have a good evening.
Yeah, you too, Star. Thanks for joining us. Always a pleasure.
Absolutely. I learned something every time.
Me too. I learned a lot because I'm not much of a chef.
Yeah, I'm not. I've never even used tofu, so that's like a confession or something.
Yeah, I've only eaten it. I've never cooked with it.
Yeah, so all right, you guys have a great evening. Jamar, thank you so much.
Oh my gosh, thank you for being here. And hopefully the next time you're in the co-op, I'll be here.
Hey, I got home like at 5:32 from DHS, and believe me, when I had to make that turn, I was like, or I could just go to the co-op and have dinner because I knew I was walking in at 5:31.
There you go.
So anyway, you guys have a great evening.
You too, Starla. Take care.
How you doing, Dada?
I just dropped my earbuds onto the big puddle of sadness that is the dripping from the cilantro on the floor, but
Clean it up.
No worries. It's all part of the learning process.
the sandwiches have been assembled.
Hey, Bob.
Excellent.
Good. Mr. Micah, how are you doing? How did it turn out? Did you try it yet?
Oh, geez.
Mr. Micah?
Micah, did you lose something?
Yeah, I can't find my buns.
You lost them?
No, they're around here somewhere.
You can leave it unmuted.
Whoa. That's good.
Awesome.
I tried it, yeah.
Excellent. Good job, Dada. We knew you could do it.
It's funny because I actually do want to go into culinary school, but
Really? We'll have to talk more about that, Dada.
Yeah. And do join us every month for practice.
I'll try.
Awesome.
It gets hectic sometimes.
Yeah. Well, don't let us keep us from enjoying your dinner.
All righty. I will Zoom you later.
All right. Yeah, I think I'm gonna head out. Bye,
Cool.
guys. This is really
Bye,
fun.
bye. Good seeing you.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, good seeing you. Bye.
Bye.
See ya.
Mr. Micah, did you find the buns?
Yeah, the second set of buns is almost done.
Okay. Remember, they only need a little bit of time to brown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. That looks good. You want to try one?
Sure.
Yeah, start eating those.
Yeah.
So I don't have to stare at them.
This is really exciting. Let me see it.
Definitely.
Hey, Dad. Hey, thank you. Yeah, I'm gonna take this home. I'll see you. Give me some feedback. Yeah, I'll be here tomorrow. Okay, cool. All right, bye. Bye. No problem. Mr. Micah, did you take yours off the heat? You took the buns off?
Think he might still be toasting them.
How is it? Good. Okay. Good. Wow.
Look awesome.
Were you did I catch you by surprise when I sent you the recipe?
Yes, I was very pleasantly surprised.
I was like, yeah, he's probably about to get really excited that he has this before the cookie class.
Yes.
Never happens.
Oh, yes, definitely.
Sometimes
I'll try to get it all posted tomorrow.
Yeah,
how you doing, Micah?
For a whole week.
Micah, you good? Doing good or?
Oh yeah, I'm doing good.
You know how to build them?
Huh?
You remember how to build the sandwiches?
Do I remember how to deal with sandwiches?
To build it.
To build it?
To build it? Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay, all right.
Are you good or do you want us to stick around?
Huh? Oh, I'm good. Yep, I'm good to go.
You
So if
good
guys-
without us?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right,
If you remember when they're done, please take a picture and have somebody email it to me.
Sure.
Thanks,
Bye.
Micah. Have a good night. Great seeing you again.
Man. Oh.